rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Get It Right, Texoma. Let me pull this microphone a little bit closer. But anyway, yes, get it right. Get it right. Giddy up. Get it right with Texoma with the trio. I'm Terry.
I'm Trey.
And we've got Mike over here, always here with us in spirit. And he influences nearly everything about this show because he just helped us. He got us started in our profession, or at least me anyway.
Yeah, well,
you were kind of on the radio a little bit.
Yeah, I was actually on the radio, but Mike was the catalyst to that. So
that's right.
Yeah,
so,
I was on the radio about 18 years actually.
Yeah.
Okay. In one show or another.
Okay.
But,
well, yeah. Well,
one station or another too.
Yeah. But go ahead. We've got we go live.
Yeah. Usually we go live. I didn't know where you were on the deal here. You bounce around so much.
I know.
It's a script. No, we go live and we usually are live every Friday morning at 7:30 on Facebook and YouTube with local happenings, interesting topics, and usually a guest, which we do have. Yep. And even if we record the show ahead of time, it'll drop the same time each week.
Yep,
absolutely. So that way there's consistency.
Yeah, we got that happening probably at the end of the month.
And the fact is, you can always, if you'll subscribe, like just
That's
then,
right. Yeah.
if you'll subscribe, especially
on
to
Facebook,
YouTube,
Facebook and both of them, yeah.
Yeah. As soon as Terry went live here, I got a little message on my phone here.
Yep.
Speaking of guests, today we have Wichita Falls City Councilor Austin Cobb.
Yep.
Will join us, and Austin was with us a couple of times when he was running for City Council.
And we had they did a rock paper scissors right here.
He and Sam Pack
together
running against each other. So, but Austin's doing a great job on the City Council, and we're excited about having him in to talk about what's going on in the city.
Yeah, and we have the advantage here of being live, and one of those benefits of being live is that you can chime in and make your comments on both YouTube and on Facebook, and I can see it right here. It pops up on my screen, so please
chime in. Multiple screens here. Terry has 3 screens.
Oh, yeah. We can see our beautiful faces over here.
He's got a monitor, and he's got a screen with a bunch of screens, and then he's got another screen with a bunch of screens.
Another screen there, the prompter.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. But anyway, we want to hear your hot takes on what's going on, what your thoughts are, and we'd like to hear from you. Please let us know. And even after the fact, if you're watching it, even after, you can still make your comments, and we certainly appreciate that. Also, check out our archives, because you can go back and you can see a lot of Mike's stuff, and then everything since since we've been handed the reins. But anyway, just be sure to check in with all of that stuff that's out there. So we have sponsors: Eddie Hills Fun Cycles, 401 North Scott since 1966.
Yep.
And you have Mac Tech Solutions right here, where we're recording from. And we're in 4020 Ray Road, Suite 3B. But
by the way, are there suite signs? I know there's.
No.
Okay, so it's 4020 Ray Road. Look for the sign.
I know, yeah.
It's a finishing shopping center. It's a finishing touch.
Finishing touch, yes. It's still
okay. So the finishing touch shopping center. Yep. Because I know you always say what suite it is, but it's like.
Well, Mike always said it. Yeah, I know.
I don't remember ever seeing a suite sign out, but Terry's got a really nice big sign.
Yeah.
Steve, you would have drove by and saw it. It's one of those deals. You're not going to miss it.
Yeah. So, but so we just like to let people know that we are local. We encourage everyone here to support local and local businesses. And by the way, if you are a local business and you're want to maybe support our show a little bit, we can get your business out there, being local especially, please let us know. We'd love to have some sponsors. So, but because we have the most unique and comprehensive podcasts involving the Texoma area. I mean, we literally have the people that know that we know people. Well, you know more than I do.
We have the movers and shakers of Wichita Falls, and this not just Wichita Falls, this area, the Texoma area.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have people come in from different counties and things like that to talk about what's going on,
yep.
as well as state representatives and Ronnie Jackson, our U.S. Congressman's been here before.
That's right.
So yeah, we try to bring you not only some insights and a little bit of fun, but we also try to bring you something very informative. And you're not going to get this and I've said this before, and I'm not knocking the TV because I love watching TV, and I think the news does a great job, and I think both of our local news stations do a really good job.
Right.
Overall, they both do a great job. But the fact is, they don't sit down with somebody for half an hour.
No.
Or 20 minutes. They can't.
No, they have to go to commercials and all that.
It's a real short snippet. And what you see on that TV, you need to understand this. What you see on there generally is a 10 to 15-minute discussion that is boiled down to a couple of minutes.
Yep.
So just understand that. And once again, I think the people that are doing our local reporting now do a really good job of keeping things in context.
Sure.
There have been times that we've had people in local reporting that did not do a very good job of keeping things in context.
Yeah.
So I think they do, but they're still doing the best they can with what they have.
Right. And then we get some, we have some of the local nonprofits and just other movers and shakers in the town.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, so this is Get It Right Texoma. Let's get into it.
Absolutely. We start, as always, with our local restaurant focus. There's a lot of great restaurants in the Texoma area. And this week is really one of my favorites, and someplace that I frequent is Snicky's Craft Kitchen out in Scotland, Texas. Yes. And so Scotland
sounds fun. Anyway, the name Snooki. Now I had I don't know, somebody in my family was named Snooki. So I
it's named after Jerry Smith. Now Jerry Smith is was on the radio with us several times. He would come on every year and talk about the Scotland sausage feed.
Yes.
And so his wife's nickname growing up was Snooki.
Okay.
And this is his daughter and son-in-law, their daughter and son-in-law that own this restaurant.
Okay.
And so they named the restaurant after after her mother, Snooki.
Okay.
It's really good food. The chef there is actually a Wichita Falls. He actually went to high school with my kids. I remember him playing football at Hershey High School.
Okay.
And great guy, and does a great job. Their menu is phenomenal. The food is great. I mean, I've never had a bad thing there, and I've had a lot of different variety there. My wife and I will usually go in and we'll get like 2 entrees and then just share them.
Okay.
And there's always plenty to take home as well as on that. But that way you get to check, you get to taste more than one thing.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
It's a great place. Like I said, Scotland it's about a 20-minute drive from Wichita Falls.
Right.
It's a nice little drive out there. You cross where the Wichita River dumps into Lake Arrowhead. It's kind of a neat drive that direction. A little farming community. And you can't miss it because it is the business in Scotland.
Right.
I mean, it's literally right on the highway.
Right. Oh, I guess they do breakfast or at least on Sunday.
They do. They have breakfast
9 a.m. Yeah, I was going to say because, all right. So Friday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Actually, most of the week. Actually, that would be on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and Saturday. They're open 11 a.m. to, either 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. And then
closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Nope.
Or Mondays and Tuesdays.
Right. There you go.
Is that right?
Yeah. Open on Sunday. So I guess before church and after church.
Yeah. Or during church.
Or during church.
For you heathens that like me that don't go to church.
So there you go.
And by the way, I'm a very spiritual person. I have a lot going on Sundays since I work all day Saturdays. Sundays are my tractor and day. Right. And so I get my church out at on the land with the chainsaw in my hand or a tractor under my butt.
Right.
But you can praise Jesus from wherever you're from.
There you go.
But Snooki's Craft Kitchen, go check it out. I mean, all the food is good. We had the meatloaf the other day.
Okay.
The last time we were there, and it's really good. Their cheese curds are neat. Then they have these Demento, I think they're called Demento balls. There's like pimento cheese, fried pimento cheese balls.
That sounds good.
They're phenomenal.
Okay, all the
food is good. I've never had anything bad there at all.
Okay.
Just so you know. I mean, and I've tried almost everything probably on the menu. Yeah. Got pictures of.
Oh, is that the chef?
I can't see from here.
Oh.
Is it? Yeah, sure is.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, there's the chef.
Demetrion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
Demetrion?
Demetrion.
Wow.
His brother's name is he has a twin brother named Demetrie.
Demetrion, though, sounds like an action figure.
It really does. I never thought about that, but and by the way, both really good guys and both really good football players back in high school.
Okay.
And Demetrion, I think he went to Tarleton. And then went to culinary school, and his brother's, I believe, is in the military. So
there we go.
Good.
Oh, there! Hey, look! See, Is that Dimitri? No, that's Harder Than Hell. Okay.
Yeah.
So
anyhow,
right.
go check them out. Snicky's Craft Kitchen.
All right.
And by the way, tell them that Terry and Trey sent you.
There you go. So we're back to us. So, all right. For food, and now we are, if I can get my mouse pointer to, there it is.
Well, we're going to talk about the McGrath Orchard corn maze.
Yes.
So the McGrath Orchard is an orchard just outside of Wichita Falls, and they have all kinds of great food items and things like that. But every year they do a corn maze.
Morath, not.
Guess what I said?
No, you said McGrath.
Did I really?
Yeah. That's like
I was thinking Mark McGrath. Yeah.
Yes.
Morath.
Morath. Yes. Morath.
I don't know why I said Morath is actually how I said. I don't know why I said McGrath.
No big deal.
Morath, the Morath corn maze, and Morath Farms, and it's a really neat deal that they do every year. They have to, and I saw one of the people kind of talk about how they do it, and they go out and they'll plant the corn and then they mow it.
Oh.
They come up with their pattern and they have to mark it out and all that.
Yeah.
But this year it's a pirate ship.
Pirate ship.
A
yes,
pirate ship.
That's right. Okay.
So and what's a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
Well, most people think it's R, but I think it's the C. Anyhow.
Okay.
So anyhow, that's goofy. I know.
All right.
Admissions are from 0 to 4 are free, 5 and up to 10, or 5 and up, $10 per person. And the hours, it's going on now through the end of October. The hours are Friday from 5 to 10, Saturday from 10 to 10, and Sunday from 2 to 6.
Okay. Now, I don't know. This is stupid, but anyway, if you're born on leap year, and on a leap year on the 29th of February, are you if you're 4 birthdays, right? And you can say you're 8. Yeah. You're really not 8. I'm sorry. You could be 2 years old and get in for free.
I guess it's
no.
Anyway, that'll work for you.
No, somebody brought that up when I was a kid.
If you're breaking your neck to save $10, go for it.
I know. $10, get there and
there's fun. A lot of stuff other things that are going on, and there's some free activities. If you just want to go out there, now if you want to go through the corn maze, it costs money, but they have stuff set up for kids and things like that. It's a neat drive. Just take the family out, go take a drive headed out towards Byers.
Right.
And just kind of heading up towards the Red River, and it's a neat place.
Yeah. So
all right.
Check that out, and then let's see. We got now this is something that my wife would probably like, and I know you're a big fan. Was that on here?
Yeah.
This one. Yeah, the MSU. Okay, there we go. All right. So we got the Star Wars 40 at 48, the enduring appeal of a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So Star Wars. So tell us about this.
Well, I just ran across this. And by the way, it probably is something that would be interesting to go to. I'm probably not going to take the time to do it. But it's on Thursday, October 16th, beginning at 6 p.m. And it's going to be a panel discussion. And I don't know, I cut off all the information that I had here.
Well, that's right.
Anyhow,
there's
a panel discussion, but there's a professor, I believe he's an MSU professor, who's going to lead a panel discussion.
Dr. Brandon Blakesley, Assistant Professor of History, Prothro Yeager College of Humanities and Social Sciences.
So if you're of a certain age, Star Wars probably doesn't mean that much. It was just a stupid little thing. If you are of that Gen X age, Star Wars was a pretty profound thing in your life because it hit you you were a fairly young person. Because even you're older than me, but you were still you were a teenager.
Yeah, I was. Let's see. Well, that was in 79.
78.
78. So I was 13. Yeah, 77, 12, 13. Yeah.
So I think it came out in late 77. But either way,
I probably should have been a fan, but I didn't end up.
The toys were big, the trading cards were big, and all that sort of stuff. And it is a very classic story. But what's pretty fascinating to me about the whole Star Wars thing is what it spawned.
Oh yeah,
I mean, this thing
franchise, big, more than a franchise,
trillions of dollars in and shows and merchandise and stuff like this, and it really was the beginning of like I said, I'm getting out of the movie side of it because the movie is a little hokey, but it's good. It's decently made. But the business side of it is these were the first ones that had the real this kicked off the real action figure thing.
Right.
These were some of the first people that had trading cards that were not sports trading cards and that sort of thing. But it's a real neat thing. And so if you're interested in it, go check it out. It's on Thursday, October 16th.
Yep. And 6 p.m. to 7. Oh, yeah.
6 p.m. it starts. I don't know what time it ends.
Well, it says 6:30 until 7:30. Okay. So that's pretty good.
So it's going to be fairly short.
All right. Cool.
And it's going to be at Midwestern State University. I don't know what it's called anymore. It's the museum and art center out by Sykes Lake.
Right. Museum. Yeah. Just right off there. And do they need, let's see, can you just go show up, I guess, or just show up? They do want you to RSVP, it looks like.
Go check it out on there.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got next?
Also, Hands to Hands, Ranch Days 25 is now upon us. Okay. The Hands to Hands organization is just a fascinating organization here in Wichita Falls. When the United Way pulled some, I believe if I remember correctly, the catalyst for this is when the United Way pulled some funding away from certain organizations. There was a group of local leaders, business people, and led by the Thacker family, Ty Thacker and his dad, that said, we're going to start an organization that's based on Texoma.
Yeah.
And they did. And they put the seed money into it. And then Nancy Brown is a rock star. She's been the backbone of the organization. She's been she's their executive director.
Okay.
And such a nice lady and very a go-getter. And this is one of their big fundraisers every year. Now, they help. You'll have to log on. I don't remember what all the organizations they help, but they help. A lot of them. Campfire, I know, is one of the organizations that they help. So anyhow, it's Ranch Days, and it's a sporting clay shoot. It's out at Ty Thacker's Ranch, Triple T, I think, Ranch is where that happens. But the first night they're going to have is a dinner at the warehouse on Lamar Street in Wichita Falls.
Okay.
And so that's the Thursday night thing. That's the dinner. I'm going to go to that. That's going to be pretty neat. And the doors open at 5, and then they have their dinner, and then they have music entertainment by La Freak. And then October 24th.
La Freak.
Yeah. October 24th and 25th, there's going to have a sporting clay shoot out the 3T Ranch.
Right.
So you need to log on to their Facebook.
Yeah. It's hthcf.org, and then these are the organizations.
The ARC, the Boy Scouts, the Boys and Girls Club, Campfire, CASA, the Children's Home and Team Shelter, the Friendly Door, Straight Street.
There you go.
So those are the organizations you're supporting, and all of them are very good organizations. All of them, if there's a very big theme there, a lot of them involve children and doing good things for kids.
Oh,
protecting kids and educating
what a
kids.
Concept.
Imagine that. Yeah. So anyhow,
glad they're there. All right, great.
So jump online and get registered for Ranch Days.
There you go. So let's see if I can get my pointer. Man, getting that over there today has been a little challenge. All right.
So the next thing we're going to talk about the comparison.
Oh, yes.
And I've said this for years. So when you hear politicians talk, when we were kids, and people would say, "That's $1 million," and
wow, $1 million. Yeah.
Now, as personally, $1 million still means a lot.
It's still a lot. Yeah.
But to the government,
oh gosh,
they don't even speak in millions anymore. They don't ever say
that's a rounding error.
It's nothing. Yeah. And they and I never heard the word trillion, hardly ever. And it never came out of a politician's mouth until about a decade ago. And all of a sudden they started using the word trillion, and now they throw the word trillion around.
Yeah.
Like they used to say million.
Yep.
So there's a couple of really good representations of what the difference between $1 million and $1 trillion is.
Yep.
And let's go ahead and play the visual, and then we have a seconds thing.
So this is gives you perspective. Okay. So let's play it here.
Okay.
Yeah, we can we'll narrate.
We'll narrate.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, $100. Yeah, but that was $1 million. This is $100. That's a lot.
And you can see a forklift, so it's on a pallet.
Yeah.
It's palletized, and there's a forklift, so it gives you a perspective of how much it is. And there's $1 billion.
Yeah.
So that's that pallet, and once again, look at the forklift. This isn't a toy forklift. This is a perspective. Now this is going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
Here's $1 trillion.
Oh my! It's nearly a football field.
And look at the trucks.
Yeah, it's nearly a football field.
Yeah, those are massive trucks. Those are full-size flatbed trucks. That's a massive crane right next to it.
Yeah. Wow. And then, geez.
Yeah.
A stack of $100 bills.
That's
$100 bills, not a dollar bill. So that or actually use it a little more. That's still a lot.
So for instance, we can all figure a second. We all understand a second. 1, 2.
Yeah.
That's a second, right? So we all get that. So here's a comparison. 1 million seconds ago was about 12 days ago. So whatever you did I think it's 11.7, close to 12. But about 12 days ago, whatever you were doing, that was 1 million seconds ago.
Okay.
1 billion seconds ago was 32 years ago. The World Trade Center bombing, the siege in Waco, and the election of Bill Clinton as president.
About 1 billion.
That was about 1 billion seconds ago.
Okay.
Right? 1 trillion seconds ago. Okay, let me put this in perspective. Jesus walked the earth about 2,000 years ago. Unless you're a flat earther and then you don't believe that, or, but Jesus walked, that was about 63 billion seconds ago.
Wow.
So we're not even up to 1 trillion. We're only at 63 billion. When Jesus Christ was here, and look, whether you're religious or not, Jesus Christ was a
real historical figure.
And he's a real historical figure. So I'm not trying to shove religion up anybody's hind end. This is just, we know that there was a guy named Jesus that lived. We knew about the time he lived. We knew about where he did. And we knew some of his things that he did. Mm-hmm. Whether you believe anything was a miracle or not, there was still this guy who was prophesizing at the time and was walking in there. So whether you're a believer or not believer, it was a real person.
Yep.
But 1 trillion seconds ago was almost 32,000 years ago. The earth was in an ice age. There was woolly mammoths, dire wolves, and giant sloths. Okay. That was 1 trillion seconds ago. Man. Compared to 12 days ago, at 1 million to 1 trillion. And so try to keep that in perspective when you hear these elected officials throw the word trillion around like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Okay. So now I got to look. Now you're talking about this, the national debt. I've got to find.
We won't get to any other thing if we do that.
No, I know, but I just wanted to show you what is the national. Oh, wrong keyboard. National. I got too many keyboards. National debt.
Clock.
Well, no, I don't want to do the debt clock yet, but the debt over time. That's because it's crazy. Let's see if we've got there was the national debt by year. So anyway,
it's going to just lead into a whole other.
Yeah, I was just looking for a graph. Yeah, but anyway, it's just really it was before COVID. Since COVID, we have jacked that thing up like $10 trillion or something. I think it's crazy or more.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the whole point is we need to remember, just keep it in perspective. When you hear, especially politicians, and they throw the word trillion around like it's nothing, just remember what the difference between 1 million and 1 trillion is. It's phenomenal. Even 1 million to 1 billion, but from 1 billion to 1 trillion, the difference is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's crazy. And there's anyway, $31 trillion or something. That was a while back. It's over.
A couple other topics to hit before our guest just came in. Number one, this is breaking news. It appears that there really may be at least a framework of peace in the Middle East right now.
Yeah.
This just hit yesterday, and apparently the Palestinians the Palestinians have agreed to give back all of the remaining hostages. Most of them are dead, or a majority of them are dead. And then Israel has agreed to pull back some of where they were. So apparently this was brokered primarily by the United States.
Yeah.
And the I think Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, Steve Witkoff, those guys were really big in this. Jared Kushner, who is Jewish, and so he knows a lot of people. So but they brought in a lot of the Arab countries, apparently. Yeah. This isn't the United States going and doing this, and this is by most Arab countries are supporting this measure.
Okay.
Because they want to see peace in the Middle East as well. Yeah. It's ridiculous to have all this fighting and stuff like that. So this is, like I said, it's breaking news from yesterday. I don't know all of the details, but supposedly the beginning of next week, all the hostages will be released. Okay. And they've been in captivity since October the 7th. Almost 2 years. Jeez. Yeah, and like I said, a huge amount of them are dead. So
all right.
That's we've got that. And then the last thing that's not local here, because we'll talk local with Austin Cobb here, is the government shutdown is still rolling on.
Yeah.
Now, I really thought this was going to be a short thing, and I don't think it's going to be too protracted, but it's gone longer than I thought. I figured at some point some of these Democrats would break. And by the way, and I'm going to say this again, I've said it before, I am very critical of the Republicans when I felt like that they were the root cause of the shutdown, like the last one. And I was on the radio publicly saying, no, this is BS.
Right.
But this side here, this looks like it is a Democrat shutdown.
Well, yeah.
The Republicans wanted to pass a clean resolution to keep the government funded, which is way overfunded. We all know it's overblown, but my point is,
they weren't changing anything.
They weren't changing anything, adding anything, and the Democrats came in and said, no, we'll only do it if you do this. Well, and I have not seen one Democrat that refutes that.
Right. So here's the thing on that. I was asking the question. I keep hearing the talking point of the Republicans saying that what the Democrats want to do is fund health care for illegal aliens. And I'm like, but where is that? And of course, they're saying, oh, no, we're not trying to do that. But then now I understand. I dug into it yesterday because I just kept hearing that, but I hadn't taken the time to research it a little bit. And really what it comes down to is this, is that because I did watch an NBC clip about it, and I think it was fair. I think a little slanted still, but it definitely was fair in the way they did it. But this is basically the deal. The difference is this: they have, we all agree it's illegal for illegal aliens to get health care or get certain benefits.
Get benefits, yeah.
Now, what the deal is that what's happened is we all know this, that it's been super easy. They've been very liberal, if you will, of allowing people to show up and get asylum and all those things. And I think what it's coming down to is that we believe, I say we, and I think you and I probably agree with this, is that we have been too liberal and that they don't really qualify. We as a country have allowed people into the country that should not have qualified because but we're just allowing it, and that's the problem. And that's where the Republicans are saying, no, you guys have been what otherwise would have been illegal aliens. You've allowed them into the country under the guise of some sort of political or whatever, amnesty, some sort of application for that. And then once they're in, so that's really what it comes down to is the Republicans, I guess my interpretation of what I researched, is the Republicans are interpreting that those things should not have happened, just like we have not been enforcing the law for all of these years and so this does seem very sudden and a lot happening at once. And I'm suffering. I'd say suffering.
But this rule has already been fixed. This is already a rule.
Right.
The Democrats are wanting to add all this money.
Right. We already passed the law that said that back in the summer, the Republicans passed the law or passed the bill.
The Congress did. Right,
Congress, right. And then the president signed that they took away some of the benefits of people who are not U.S. citizens and things. So anyway, I think if you're a permanent resident and all that, but these temporary things, so they are the Democrats are going, hey, y'all shouldn't have done that, and they're holding place. And then that's where the Republicans, even though technically because the government has blessed these people, then they're here and accounted for.
Well, and I don't want to get we need to wrap this up, but just to put this in perspective, though, when people come here legally, and I know this for a fact because my
Right.
wife's an immigrant.
Right.
When people come here legally, they have to agree to not accept. They are not eligible for any kind of government benefit.
Well, but they're
not eligible, and they don't get it. And what we have is a situation where there are people that are in this country legally,
right. It's
who
unfair.
don't get the benefits,
Right. And if
the people that are illegal that are getting benefits that are taxpayer benefits, and it's gonzo logic.
Well, again, I think we got to be careful, and I think that's where there's where the disconnect, or not disconnect, but there is that gap though of that interpretation. It's a bit of a gray area to some extent in the sense that they have been approved. The Biden administration allowed all these people and made it easy and overly easy, too easy to get into the country.
Yeah, once again.
But they're not legally on paper. These are not illegal people. They should have been.
No, they came in illegally. So
no.
On paper, no, it doesn't. No, you can't wave a magic wand and say you don't have to follow the law. No, that's bullshit, Terry.
No, I agree with you.
The law is the law. So even if you break the law and then somebody allows you to break the law, you're still breaking the law. Period. You're still breaking the law.
But there was a process, though, and we'll move on. But there was a process that happened. We'll cover that.
But it doesn't matter. You're still breaking the law because the Biden administration, a police officer or whatever, does not get to interpret the law themselves. That's not they don't get to do that. Anyhow.
I agree. All right.
So Austin Cobb is going to be in. We're going to go local here.
Yeah, there we go.
Talk about local. Come on in.
All right. We're
Austin.
Ready. Austin,
come on,
yes,
come on down.
You're on. We do this.
Yeah.
We do the live switch thing.
We do our live transition here.
Yeah.
No transition.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
No.
Terry's transitioning. I mean,
hey.
Austin Cobb is with us, city councilor. We're about to.
Yeah.
Like,
there we go. See, we have your name. Yeah, we have your name. And we're live. You know that.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
So I got to watch my mouth, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's no editing today.
Nope. It goes out. It's out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So
well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming in. And of course,
I think it's my third time up here. So
I think that's right. Because the other two times you were not on the city council yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I ran, and then we had to run again.
Yeah,
we came back twice.
You came in twice.
Did you share it?
Share what?
The show.
Oh, now it's live on my Facebook right now.
Okay, but did you share it
before?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, then all right. Now we can talk.
So yeah. So if
now we can talk.
If on my Facebook page, they're going to listen to all the stuff I have to say today.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So Austin, you've been a city councilor now for how many months?
Let's see. It's 10 months, I guess. A little over 10 months. Almost 11 months. So I was sworn in first week of January. So officially, and so it's been crazy.
And was the rock paper scissors? Did you win it?
I lost the rock paper.
Oh
Yeah.
well.
So rock paper scissors has been debunked.
I did. I lost the rock paper scissors. But no, it's been great. You know, the momentum in the city is it's crazy. I mean,
well, you got in at a good time. You got in, and when I say that, it's not like you're just riding the coattails. What I'm saying is you're part of the solution too.
Right.
But you're in at the right time. You're right. This city has had a pretty massive transformation. And you are part of that. And I'm glad to see it because it needed to happen.
It did. You know, a lot of this stuff has been worked on for the last year and a half, 2 years. I've been lucky to be in some of those conversations, even, served on city board. So I was aware. I didn't know the details. I remember leaving my first executive session in council, and I was like, man, I thought I knew.
Oh, yeah.
But wow, it's
pretty amazing.
And just the stuff that's been announced, this week was a great week on council. We approved some really cool things.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
And it's that's just the tip of the iceberg. That they're just lined up, and all you have to do now is close them. And so you can see a smile on my face. It's going to transform the city, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. Really.
Well, like you brought up city council this week. So the data center,
yes,
that was officially approved. I know
the land sale was approved.
Land sale was,
yeah. So data center land sale was approved. So it was $65,000 an acre, 225 acres, largest land sale ever in the Wichita Falls area.
Yeah,
0 tax abatements.
Right.
So we get the full amount of that
benefit of that
full sales tax.
Now, for instance, that's $14.6 million.
Correct. Went straight back to the 4A. That's from the business park, which the 4A board bought, I think, 20-something years ago as an investment.
Probably for pennies on the dollar.
Pennies on the dollar. And now the business park sold out with Amazon and everything else that's out there, the data center. So we're looking for more land to try to do this again. But it's a great return on our investment.
But it's not just that, though. Because of the density of the value in such a small space,
right,
and from one company, that's going to provide tax revenues,
sales tax,
property
and sales tax revenue.
Well, how will it be sales tax?
Well, because it's the property tax for sure. Yeah, but they also pay a sales tax on the value of their property inside, which boosts revenue.
Right.
So like Amazon pays revenue on all the stuff they store in inventory, right?
Right.
And so all those computers, and as they and as they change them out, as technology changes, that tax revenue continues to go up.
Right.
And I don't think people realize, I keep hearing and seeing on social media, what is this data center going to do for Wichita Falls? Well, it's going to provide up to 300 jobs, probably 150 to 300, somewhere in there when it's fully built out. It's 6 million square feet. The mayor always says that's the size of the Pentagon, and that is the size of the Pentagon. Yeah. But this one data center alone is going to double our tax revenue, which is more roads, better water infrastructure, parks.
Everybody gets
now.
You don't have to live over by the data center to get in. You can live on the north side of town, the east side of town, the west side of town.
Correct.
You're going to benefit from that.
And it's a closed loop water system. I repeat that every single day.
Yeah.
When they fill it's going to be a massive amount of water. Not going to lie.
Right.
But it's closed loop. So anytime they're adding water to it, they have something break. They shut it down, clamp the pipes, replace a pipe, boom, turn it back on. So, it uses a typical amount of water as a commercial business.
Right. Now, this is not, there's been some comparisons to the Granbury, down near Fort Worth.
Granbury.
Granbury. There it is. Yeah, Granbury has a crypto mining facility. It's a data center, but the difference is this is a well thought out, planned thing. That the crypto people, I'm nothing against crypto people, okay, but they go cheap.
Right.
This is well thought out. This is a data center that's completely. This is an air conditioning system that's quiet. This is
quiet. And it's in a business park.
Right. It's it's out.
It's not on Maplewood. Right. So it's an industrial park. It's been.
It's coming right next to your house. Right. That's where we're gonna put it.
It's in the industrial park. It's been an industrial park for 30 years.
Right.
So it's not like we're building it on Maplewood. And it's cooling. They're quieter. Technology's changed. Look at where your iPhone was 10 years ago. Right. Same thing with data centers. They're constantly evolving. And people always talk about power. We have spare power in ERCOT. ERCOT's very centralized. Right. They send power out. If you don't use it, you can't get it back to the ERCOT grid.
No.
And so that's what we have spare.
And we're going to be storing that with batteries. They're going to be
with batteries,
getting it at the low demand time, and then be ready for it during the day when it's hot and it's being, because computers, the more power. The more you use computers, the more power they draw. The less you do. So again, demand will go up and down. Yes, the demand will spread across over time because no doubt it'll be worldwide. But most people still work during the day and sleep at night. And so so anyway, that's the world.
Yeah, and another thing with this data center, now they're requiring, the state is they have to have backup power for 21 days. So if there's a power outage, statewide, or we have, Snowmageddon again, right? Yeah. They can run 21 days on their own without getting any power from ERCOT. So that's one of the new standards that ERCOT's
got a whole bunch of hamsters out there.
Correct. Yeah, it's that old ESPN commercial with Lance Armstrong riding the bike to power ESPN.
Yeah. So that's, and the other big thing about any of these projects, because it's not just centralized to this is going to bring a lot of people in to build this. Why they're going to use some local contractors, there's only so many local people in the construction.
Exactly. We don't have the capacity to do all the work.
A lot of them are busy right now. Right. Everybody's busy. So you're going to have people that have come in. They're going to spend a meaningful period of time here.
And may even stay.
May move their families.
Yeah, you're talking 3,000 to 5,000 temporary workers for a 5-year period. Those fill our hotels. They eat at our restaurants. They go to our grocery stores. Get gas here. Right. That's sales tax. We're going to be recouping some of that stuff.
And once again, some of them are going to move here. Wichita Falls lost a group of oil field workers in about 2012, 2013 or so, when West Texas popped off.
Yeah.
Wichita Falls kind of went, our oil just kind of stabilized. West Texas popped off. And there was so much money out there that so many people that were local were going out there to work.
Right.
But after 2 years of living in a trailer and an RV out there, and missing their family and coming home for the weekends, they got bullshit. We're just going to move our family out there.
Right.
And so we literally lost these people who had been long-time Texoma residents.
Right.
And now they're living out in Midland, Odessa because they relocated their family out there for work.
And that's another one of our goals this year is to try to build some affordable housing. You know, we've been having meetings with home builders, local home builders. You know, how can we make you make a cheaper house, essentially, right? You know, and we're talking the $250,000 to $300,000 range because 4,000 to 5,000 workers, we can capture 2,000 of those. You know, instead of sending your paycheck back to Beaumont or San Angelo or wherever, it's like, hey, we got 2 new high schools. Like, you know, the mall developments come in. You know, hey, this is a good place to live. You know, instead of sending that paycheck back, why don't you stay here?
And by the way, you can buy a house at a reasonable price and live more reasonably here than you probably can at
100%. Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, we're having those conversations now. It's like, how do you capture these guys once this construction starts next year? So,
and again, 1%. And if we can capture 1%,
right,
that's 1,000 people a year.
And we can do that.
1% a year.
Wichita Falls can handle that.
So what was another big item on the agenda this week?
Well, we approved the sale of the mall. So I'm excited about it. You know, it's, you know, we're already talking to national retailers, grocery store chains. You know, it's going to be a redevelopment. That property will probably be worth $250 to $300 million when it's all built out. So we'll close on that Friday. Let's see, what is today? 15th, 16th, I think, is the actual closing date. So we will close on the mall. Then we'll be able to announce the developer, you know, so no truth to any rumors that the developers backed out. You know, we had 12, 14 developers line up to want to be a part of this process. Now, some were, we're not going to go with you, you know, type developers. And it's national names you recognize that have done this time and time again. And, you know, we got to pick. And that's a good place to be in.
When are we going to see some, I guess, preliminary thoughts of exactly what's all is going to happen?
Yeah, I'm hoping in here in the next probably 8 to 12 months, you'll see a full draft plan of kind of where it's going to go in a timeline. We've been having those talks, but we have to acquire the property first.
Sure.
That's the first step, right? Yeah. And people are like, why can't you tell us? NDAs are in place.
Yeah,
if anyone's done a business deal,
it is what it is, yeah.
And we're not hiding anything. And, you know, we've been as transparent. We've had 3 public meetings about it.
You've been as transparent as you can.
100%.
Legally, you have to understand, what people need to understand is when it comes to personnel matters and property matters,
right,
city governments cannot talk openly about stuff like that. It has to be done.
But there's a reason, because just like any other, if you're dealing with the private entities, that's why the chamber, they're not dealing, in a lot of cases, they're not dealing with a government entity. They're just simply trying to help get a company here. And the company doesn't want to tip their hat onto the competition for a lot of reasons. And when our government, this is a government partnership with private industry to try to get something going, and you got to play along in that world.
That's correct. And it's the same way in real estate, right? Whether it's private property or you have your own commercial business, you know, it's, hey, so-and-so's moving in across the street. All of a sudden, you know, prices skyrocket. You know, hey, we're going to build a Walmart right here. What does everyone do? They go buy up all the land because they know, and then they try to flip it. And so, which is, I mean, that's the American way, right? You want to make some money,
wrong with it, but
you can't just say all this stuff publicly.
Right.
You know?
Exactly, yeah. And there's a reason. So economic development is blowing and going. There's a lot going on there. But there's something else that you've been very involved in, and it's a new homeless initiative.
New homeless initiative. That's right.
Are you the only city council liaison?
I am the only city councilor liaison. Yes, so it's a 5-member team. So we've got it's a 7-member team. So we've got myself and then Jeff Jenkins, our new city manager, and then
great guy, by the way.
He's awesome. We've been very happy with that so far. Jeff's we talk all the time, and he's got jokes. And then James McKechnie is on there as well, kind of as a liaison, and then it's Commissioner Beecham, Commissioner Watts, and then we've got Dr. Lewis Wilson, who's been instrumental in this, Steve Sparks from the Faith Mission as well too. Mm-hmm. So this homeless initiative is kind of a joint effort between the county and the city to address our homeless population, and our goal is simply to reduce unsheltered homeless in Wichita Falls. So we had our first meeting last month. We'll have our next one next month, and you're going to start to see some things come out. So we're very excited. It's an 18-month board. We have a hard deadline of ending this board in 18 months with a clear path. And it's simple things. You know, it's a lot of these homeless people, they go to the emergency room. They can't stay in the emergency room. They don't have anywhere to go. They still need medical care. So we're looking at opening a respite center. And so United Regional's been a partner in this, where they can go somewhere where they can get medical care, transition back into population, and then connecting all the dots. If a homeless person gets picked up by PD, and the first thing in his mouth, well, I'm banned from Faith Mission. Well, okay, we can't take him to Faith Mission. And then they call over there a day later, like, he's not banned from Faith Mission. So it's getting a communication system between, parks and PD and fire department and the CART team and Faith Mission and Salvation Army. And
what about Helen Farabee?
Helen Farabee, they're involved in this too. I forgot. He's on the board too.
That's what a great deal of this, and numbers. Do you have any statistics off the top of your head about
I remember. I think in the last 5 years, the homeless population, which was like up 40% or something.
But as far as the population having mental health issues and challenges going on, it's almost
a bit.
Yeah, it's like a high
either a
percentage.
drug
or mental.
Yeah.
And that's why the CART team has been so instrumental. They have really, y'all familiar with the CART team, right? It's a police officer, it's a firefighter, and it's a representative from Helen Farabee.
Okay.
So if someone's having a mental health crisis, they can call the CART team. They will go, they will respond. If they need to go to Helen Farabee, or if they need to go to state hospital, they take them. But it's not a police officer and a fire, showing up in a gun, because you call the cops and immediately think they're going to jail. No, we're here to help you. Right. So the CART team's been instrumental. We're looking at expanding that, getting another CART team, and it's to help address the mental issues that some of our population have, not just homeless either.
Right.
Too.
Right.
So it's been a remarkable program.
What happens is, a lot of people like to spin the homeless thing and like, oh, it's somebody who just lost their job and now they're on the streets. It's like, okay, think about this.
Right.
Think about this. Everybody, all of us here in this room, and everybody we know, if one of us woke up tomorrow morning and everything was gone, would any of us be on the streets, or would we have a bunch of people coming out of the woodworks? Come stay at my house. Right. Come stay over here. There would be so many people that would try to come help us because we've done good things for people, and we've never burned people. Right. Generally, by the time that somebody's on the streets, they've basically burned all those bridges. Mm-hmm. They've and you, like you said, and I have a lot of empathy for these people. But you say that somebody says, I'm banned from Faith Mission. Well, you're not banned from Faith Mission because they don't like the way you look.
Right.
There's a reason why if you are banned. Right. And there are people that are banned there because they cannot
rules.
Behave themselves.
Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. And, our whole goal is to say, hey, you're homeless. Why are you homeless? What do you need?
Exactly.
And that is our goal.
Right.
There's always going to be a part of our population that I want to be homeless.
Or they don't trust, you can't help them get over the mistrust.
Correct.
They just because it all feeds into itself. The mental health issues, the drugs, the fact that they're there, they can't trust people. There's so much.
This is going to be a community effort. We're going to start releasing next month the city is going to release some PIO information, and it's going to have, if you see a homeless person on the street, we want you to be able to say, you can go here, instead of giving you $1, and they'll help you right now. And it's about getting this respite unit built, because these guys, they can't get better and they can't get a job. It's working with Faith Mission. It's working with Base Camp Lindsay. It's working Salvation. It's putting us all together.
Base Camp Lindsay.
And because we don't communicate, none of these groups communicate. There's 100 groups that want to help the homeless. None of them talk to us.
Right. By the way, this is what happened. You remember 9/11? There was a reason why there was a major shift after 9/11. Because there were a lot of warning signs that this was going to happen, but all these groups didn't communicate, and that's why they put everything under the umbrella of Homeland Security.
Correct.
To make sure there's communication. It's not as extreme as that, but it's a similar type thing. Like you're saying, you're putting something under an umbrella and say, okay, we all have a mission and we all have the same goals and our heart's in the right place. Right. But to get our shit together, we got to talk about it.
Right. We got to talk about it, and we can't, we got to stop I'm not going to work with Base Camp Lindsay because I don't like one of their board members. Yeah. We got to stop the pity, and what is our goal? It's not to fight with each other. It's to help a certain part of our population. And our homeless population has increased rapidly. And so we've got to come together, and we're going to figure out a way to do it. Dr. Lewis Wilson, if you haven't read it, it's online, but he's got a 30-page report that he did all on his own with some group of community leaders, and they gave us a clear crystal plan. And like I said, it's not, some of these boards just go on and on and on and on. We have an 18-month deadline to make some real changes, and then we're going to dissolve this board. So we're really excited.
The hope is you'll have a plan in place, and it'll be handed off to a more permanent.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, and the county's been great. Judge Johnson's been awesome in helping from his side, and and putting some people on, just administrative staff to help with some of this stuff and keep it moving. City's been great. Jeff's been great. And yeah, we're going to do something about it. And we're excited.
Well, you think about it, it's good for everybody because, like you said, there is a percentage of people, it's relatively small, who just want to live in the wide open free. They don't want to answer to anybody. They want to do what they do. And that's just reality. Okay. Yep. But there is a lot of people who do have either mental health issues or drug issues that if you could reach them in a sober time when they were clear-headed and say, do you want to live out here? They'd say, hell no.
Right.
Get me out of here. So we help all those people. First off, as humanitarians, we help all those people. And then the second thing is, it's not good for your city. I mean, I can remember driving through LA. My wife wanted to we were in Los Angeles a few years ago, and this was before the pandemic even, and she wanted to go to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well, you've got to pass. And when I say homeless encampments, I'm not talking about a couple homeless people laying out. You have to pass these two massive homeless encampments out there. And does it look good for the city? Did I sit there and go, man, I feel great about Los Angeles now?
Right. And, if you kept up with city council, we did change our ordinances on homeless and camping and public camping. And, so our ordinances have some teeth now, but we're not going in and just arresting people. Yeah. We're going in now and it's like, you cannot stay here any longer. But can we take you to
how can we help?
Yeah, how can we help? We've got a dedicated PD officer just for this project. So I mean, it's all hands on deck right now, and I'm excited. So next month, you're really going to start to hear some public information. We're working on the communication system now. We'll hopefully have a report on that next month and how much that's going to cost, and then the respite unit as well.
Right. Well, but
we've already got some land identified.
All of this stuff, if we don't do anything, still costs, and may even. And it's likely to even cost more if you don't do anything, if you ignore it. And so, but the emergency room,
it's just bad for people.
And an emergency room, a cost of the emergency room, because there's so much ready to go right now, waiting to do something. There's a high cost to an emergency room. Whereas if you could just have a clinic that they could go to that maybe they don't know. A lot of times it's not that it's community health care is there. There's all kinds of other places, but it's just they don't know. And by doing a outreach and coordinate. Yeah, and that way, again, we're not trying to arrest everybody all the time.
No, and it's going to be a community effort. Like I mentioned, United Region, we're talking about this respite unit and having, MSU nursing students run through this respite center as training and helping out. I mean, so it's good and working with MSU to try to get, the care that they need, right? And so get them back into population and transition them into a work program or whatever they want to do. And so, like I said, there's so many layers to it, but I think this is the only way we can address it.
Right. Well, and to address the whole thing when we're approached in a parking lot or whatever, some of that may still happen. But I have tried multiple times. I don't give money, but I will say, I'd like to get something to eat. Oh, I'll tell you what. I won't let them in my car, but if you'll meet me at McDonald's or if you'll meet me down at Jason's or you'll meet me somewhere, and I'll go in there and I'll buy a gift card or pay for their meal. Yeah. At least it's one thing right then. I'm getting what they need. Right. And then I, of course, talk about faith mission and all those kinds of things. And I think helping people not give the money, but to provide some other ideas, because people are caught off guard. And I think people are often, everybody has a heart, or most of us have a heart.
Our city is one of the most compassionate cities in America.
And
so we love to help everybody.
Right. Yeah. Rather than just handing the cash, which in many cases is we do know, sure, that some of them are not using it for what they're saying.
And technically, you have to have a permit to solicit in Wichita Falls, which is $50. And there is one person that will go get a permit. It's $50, and he will sit out there and collect money and make more than $50 every day.
I guess I've probably never told anybody this, but it's something I do, and I've done it for a long time. And I don't do it like every day, but I do it. There's times that I'll go by if I got like a little slow time. Sometimes I need to go drive around and clear my head. Of course, I'm downtown. I'll go run over to McDonald's and buy a bag of burgers, and I'll drive around. I'll just pull over and hand somebody a burger. Or a sack of burgers. I'll get them to put like burgers and fries in like 4 or 5 different sacks. Right. And I'll drive, because you drive around downtown, you're going to find somebody. You're going to find somebody hanging loose and go, hey, you hungry? I got some food for you here.
Exactly.
It's just something that we can all do, little things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I said, Wichita Falls is one of the most generous cities that we know
most of these homeless people are good people. Yes. They're not dangerous people. No. You have some, they may seem odd, They may seem strange, and they may be a little intimidating to you, maybe
Right.
or maybe not. But for the most part, they're not serial killers.
No.
I mean, they're good people like you that have something has happened in their life to kind of get them off the rails.
Right, absolutely. They're people, right? We're all people.
Yeah.
And, God always says you take care of your neighbors. I mean, they're our neighbors. And so this is the whole point of this whole thing.
That's awesome.
It doesn't mean we have to put them up in a 4-star hotel with with full room service and all that. It means that we give them a leg up, some help to push them in possibly in the right direction.
Yeah, the best way to just describe it is you're homeless, unsheltered homeless. Why are you homeless, and how do we correct that issue? That's our whole goal.
That is
our whole goal.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what else is? I know you're limited on what you can talk about, so I don't ever want to push for that. But I know there are things out there that are on the horizon that people kind of know about, or it's about, but you can talk about it. So what can you tell us that's on the horizon that you can't?
Right. I don't think the secret's out already. I mean, we've got several more data centers we're talking to. So we're not going to get, we're going to have another data center, I imagine, at some point in the near future. So that's exciting. It's just more tax revenue for us. It's the mall stuff is awesome. Some of the names that are being thrown around that are looking at that site. I mean, they're national retailers that, Wichita Falls, we've done a study, some of these retailers, they require a certain amount of traffic, people presence day in and day out. We meet all that, and we've never had a place to put them. We're running out of land. There's all kinds of stuff. Winco's opening. We're going to eventually extend Winona all the way to Maplewood. So we'll have at some point in the future, it'll be, there'll be 2 little industrial strips right there on Lawrence Road.
Before Winco, I didn't even know Winona was right there.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So, we're talking, we're close. It's, by the end of the year, we'll have another couple announcements, and it's just going to roll into next year too.
But let me ask you something on the mall. And then once again, I'm very respectful. If you could talk about it, fine. If you can't.
Sure.
Are they, in some of these ideas and thoughts, have you seen whether people are talking about wiping the slate clean and starting from the ground up, or reusing part of the bones that are there?
No, it's going to be a complete teardown.
Okay.
It'll be a complete teardown. It'll do it in phases. So that we'll start on the JCPenney side first. One of the national retailers is probably going to be moving in, hopefully in the next 9 months, 10 months, they'll start construction as we get some of these plans going. And it's people, they complain about traffic, and there's going to be new roads that go through it. We're going to create new city roads throughout the whole.
It's called planning.
It's planning. Correct. This will be new roads going in and out. There'll be new stoplights. There's going to be, no one complained about the mall when it used to be full during Christmas. And the roads are the same. And I realize it's only for a month, but and then MSU is going to have their stadium that they are paying for. Paying for.
Do they know? Do you know where it will go?
It's going to go over towards the original plan, or the prelim plan. We don't have any official plans, right? Yeah, so they're going to say where's the best place for it, but it's going to be on the campus side, closer to the campus, over kind of where Toys R Us, Ollie's is, that area.
Yeah, I would say the Firestone store or something like that. That makes sense,
right?
Because you want it to be
close to
walkable,
campus.
Right?
Yeah,
that's
the whole point of it.
Is the First Bank building?
So that First Bank
is a separate.
They own that. Jimmy's Egg. They own that.
Okay.
That building is owned by somebody else.
Okay.
So that used to be, for us older guys that remember, that used to be the JCPenney tire shop.
Yeah, the Firestone.
Yeah. JCPenney. And so that was sold off when it was sold off. So that's staying. So other than that, everything else it will eventually go away. Now, AMC wants to stay. They want a new theater. Bricktown wants to stay. Books A Million wants to stay. And we're working with
those. Wow. Okay. Yeah. And what about the other retailers, the local retailers? There's been a bunch of worries about what's going on. What kinds of initiatives, as far as helping, is there going to be? Is there money that is going to be available to help them move? And
right.
That kind of stuff?
So the chamber is going to be taking on that.
Okay.
And they've been talking to them for months, even before some of this stuff was public.
Yeah.
They said, hey, this is what's going on. Because there was a point that, some of these guys were up for lease renewals, and they were wanting to sign, a 3 or 4 year lease. And we did the right thing. We went and said, hey, you should sign a 1 year lease.
Yeah.
And
I can't tell you why.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so, we have space for them downtown if they want to go to downtown. But the chamber is working. They've reached out to every single business owner in that mall and said, how can we help you relocate? Whether it's here in the future, or whether it's when you go downtown, or you want to go somewhere else. And so the chamber's been really forward with that, and because we don't want to lose anybody, right? My family owns a family-owned business. You small business, family-owned business. We don't want to lose anybody, and so we will work with every tenant, and we had from day one. So regardless of what you see in the news.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where they're going to build the set up the new Eddie Hills Fun Cycles mall.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're putting a test track out in the
There
mall.
you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
You can do an ATV test track.
Yeah.
Right out front.
Or
Yeah.
get Elon to do an underground tunnel racetrack.
So that whole area is going to change, and it's going to help. It's going to spur development. You know, when you build a brand new development, Century City across the street, they're going to have to update all their facilities because they're going to want to compete across the street. So it's just going to be, and it's the heart of, we keep saying the heart of Wichita Falls. I mean, it is the center.
It is.
Our city.
We love downtown, and everybody likes downtown. But the fact of the matter is, downtown has not been the heart of the retail heart of Wichita Falls in 4 decades.
Right, and downtowns are different. Starbucks don't go to a downtown anywhere. They're not downtown unless they're in
a building or inside of an office tower.
But that's great because that leaves room for F&J's and Odd Duck.
Right, and all the good things are downtown. And in next year, you'll see our downtown master plan. We're going through that again. Okay. You kind of saw me, in council a few months ago. I said no one celebrates a C. I think we did a C. We did a C job for downtown. Did a lot of things work? Absolutely. Also, a lot of things did not work. So what worked, what was good, and what do we need to fix? Yeah. And so we're going to come out with that next year because we're not giving up on downtown. We're going to focus on we can do multiple things at once. And it's
a cultural. It could be. In Wichita Falls, it's part of the cultural thing. I mean, you got the Wichita Theater, you got the back door, and there's a lot of things going on down there that need to do, but it's a balance. You can't do everything and only in one and ignore the other.
And I would argue that councils in the past, in our last 6 years, have focused on one thing, and then when we lose it, everything is like, God, but if we throw 15 darts on the board and we hit 3 bullseyes, that's our goal.
Speaking of the downtown, with downtown Wichita Falls development,
yes, sir.
What's the 75,000? Clear up that because there's been a lot of talk, and I've seen you and Laura Mayfield and Jason, everybody chiming in on that.
Right,
so
right.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Okay.
So the long and the short.
I'm not a Facebook guy, so I'm not a social media.
I wasn't either until I got into this, and sometimes I just have to put it down and walk away. But no. So what happened was the 4A decided not to fund economic downtown development any longer. 4A. Their goal is economic development, and downtown development had not done any economic development in a long while. So they didn't feel like being good stewards of that tax money. Is that where it went? Now, that being said, we do not want to lose the Cajun Fest, the St. Patrick's Day, the City Lights Parade. So right now we're working, 4B is working with downtown development and their board to figure out how much money they're going to need, kind of as just a little holdover. Give them some money, hopefully, if they give us a good crystal plan of what they're going to do with it. But they're going to have to raise money to continue these events through sponsorships, just like Local Percinco does, just like Zavala does for Taco Fest. Like that is what it is. So we're willing to help. We're still in those early conversations, but our main goal is downtown development. It's now going to be kind of like downtown events, I guess you could say, and that board is going to continue to carry on the events downtown, and that's how we want to approach it from the city side. So.
Okay. Cool.
Call it more what it is.
Right. And then we're going to take that money that was going to downtown development. We're going to give it to, I think we're probably going to give it to the chamber. And the chamber is going to have a new team that focuses on economic development, data centers, grocery stores, and then a team that focuses squarely on downtown.
Right. And good and bad, we've got Ron leaving. And we know we're going to have to be getting some new people in. Of course, that's the responsibility of the chamber. They're their own cell. They will take care of all of that. Right. But I'm hoping that continues. I think it's good to have new blood and all that. Although, again, I wished we weren't losing Ron now. But it's a reality.
Well, I'll say this about Ron. So, very thankful for his 3 years here. He changed mentalities.
That's exactly.
I agreed with his mentality before he was here, but it's finally that he got people to listen. So I'm very thankful for him. We weren't going to keep him after this job. He's getting 3 or 4 times the budget, 3 or 4 times the people, and guess what? He's going home. There's something about going home.
Yeah, he's from that area. Yeah, he's from that area.
He's not. There's nothing's falling through. He's not. Running away from town. I'm very thankful for his years. Now, I think Councilman Browning in our meeting this week was Ron teed everything up. Now we just got to hit the ball. Yeah. And so that is what our focus is going to be on the next couple of years. Is hey, we've got all this stuff in the pipeline. Let's go close all these deals, and then we'll go and get some.
And not only that, to be fair, and I think Ron's going to be a big shoes to fill. He's a great guy and has done great things for Wichita Falls. But Wichita Falls Chamber of Commerce CEO is much more attractive in 2026.
Than it
would have been
absolutely.
in 2022 when he got here, or whatever, 23.
Because somebody could come in and ride on Ron's
basically don't
coattails.
screw it up.
Right. And he's put a great team in place.
Yeah.
You know, when he came in, there wasn't a single person left in the chamber that was.
I know. Yeah.
And so there's a solid foundation of really good folks there.
They are really good people.
And they're just going to, are they young? 100%. I've been called young my whole life. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So they've got it. They're going to run with it, and we're going to be behind them 100%.
Right. There's a DNA that's there that's going to continue, and that's awesome. And we'll just see again. It's just going to be another chapter in the success of our town, and of course the chamber.
So much is going. The chamber is going so far. The city's going so far because when people take a position like that, they're going to look at everything.
Yeah.
Right.
They're going to relocate their lives, relocate their families, because these are important positions. What people, I know I've heard people in the past complain. I used to deal with this on the school board. I can't believe the superintendent makes so much. It's like, you can't get Fred from the Times and Record News to come down and run your $129 million budget.
Right.
These are CEOs.
Yes.
Basically, the city manager, the school board, the superintendent of the schools, the Wichita Falls City Council. These are CEOs of corporations.
Yep.
Right.
And in private industry, especially in like the city of Wichita Falls and the school district, because of the size of their budgets, a CEO at a private corporation like that would probably make
3 or 4 times more.
Exactly. $1 million a year with stock options.
When everyone complains about, the salary we give our city manager, I always say find a public company, because all their salaries are public.
Yeah.
And go find a 1,300 person public company where you can see records and see what their CEO makes.
And see what their budget is, how much money they go through a year.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Their salary may be $150,000, which is less than our city manager. But then you go look at all his stocks options, all his bonuses, and then he's
got a house.
Right.
Yeah.
There's performance.
Right.
But we don't have that. We're not
not just
for profit.
Some of his performance and some of his guaranteed benefits.
Well, yeah. Right. But it's just there's some similarities that we can parallel to the private industry, but you're going to be competing against those, or even take out the private industry and just there are plenty of other cities that know what they want, and they go out after those, and they're willing to pay.
And honestly, the people that work in public service, like city managers, they get paid less than if they were in the private world.
Right.
And they get all the scrutiny other than just getting yelled at by a board of directors, know? And so, if city manager does something wrong or bad, then he gets yelled at by us and then everybody in the city.
So there's
now the CEOs, if you go to a Coldplay concert, you might get more scrutiny if you're one of those CEOs. Anyhow, that's all right. Anyhow, so we kind of need to wrap this up here, but we've gone a little long, but it's always great. Hey. You're a great guest, and
thank you.
And really enjoy you being in, and really, seriously, really happy that you're on the city council.
Thank you.
I think you're doing a great job, and I think that you've jumped into it with all the right intentions.
Right.
And you're a smart guy, and you're thoughtful, but you're also half cocked, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You need that. You don't want somebody who's just going to sit back and just watch and do nothing.
I'm a little type A.
Yeah.
So
there's nothing wrong with that.
It's I've been in the oil field my whole life. That it's just like, we need to get something done in the oil field. You just do it. You pick up a sledgehammer and go do it.
Yeah.
So speed of government has been a real learning experience.
Yes,
this first year.
I told you. Remember? I told you you're going to have a hard time with that.
You did.
Anytime you go, we have similar personalities. Anytime you're in a business and you're a mover and shaker and you're used to things getting done, when you go into a government role, yes, it moves at the speed of smell. And it is so, it's like turning a battleship.
Why can't we do this? You can't. And I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
It's the law. And I'm like, can we change the law? And they're like, call James Frank. Like, a
lot of it is that.
Yeah.
But then there is, and we talked about this before, there are some natural pauses that are built in.
Correct.
To drive all of us nuts. But Jim Johnson really talked about this when he was in last and really explained this. He said, those natural government pauses are in there for a reason, because it forces cities, counties, government entities to hold hearings, listen to people, let the public know what's going on. So you literally, I know there's people that are against stuff that usually go, I never heard about this. It's like, but it's been in, you could go back and see, there's been public hearings and that you didn't go to and you didn't listen to it. So we can't make you listen to it.
Right.
No.
Right. And no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And that's the reason we post our agendas, 3 full business days, new law. Holidays don't count anymore. So you can read the agenda and have questions and show up to council meeting or call me if you have questions.
Yeah.
You can't make it.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I'll put in a good word for a raise.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we wrap up?
I think I'm good, guys. I really appreciate having. I'm going to do a shameless plug. Can I? For the
Absolutely.
YMCA? Okay. Yesterday was the Community Impact Lunch at YMCA. And they had the First Day Foundation come down, and they gave the YMCA, the Bill Bartley branch, the director of that foundation is in San Antonio, and he worked for Bill Bartley. So he came up and he gave $250,000 to the YMCA.
Wow.
He also said if the community can raise another $250,000 on its own by the end of December, he will cut us another check for $250,000.
So
$750,000 for our YMCA.
So open your checkbook, open your wallet up.
Yeah,
folks.
so give to the YMCA. They're a fantastic organization. They're going to open that aquatic center, the Jim and Vicki McCoy aquatic center next year before school starts, and they're doing all kinds of new programs for Miracle League and kids with disabilities, and it is a fantastic organization. And so I just want to get the word out. I know everyone gives money to everybody, but throw a little to the Y, because this is a huge amount of money that we don't want to miss out on.
No, it's a potential.
And I don't serve on the board. I just love the Y, and I coach all my kids through it. And John Deerdoff has been incredible director of the Y. So shameless plug.
Absolutely.
Well, cool.
Austin Cobb, we appreciate it. City Councilor Austin Cobb. And next week, scroll down.
Yeah, we're getting there. Oh, yeah. Been paying it.
Yeah, we didn't. Jim Culavatos.
There we go. There it is. Yes.
Next week's guest is going to be Jim Culavatos. Talk about differences. We have a Wichita Falls City Councilor. Jim Culavatos is the CEO of Clay County Memorial Hospital.
Okay.
So that's why I talk about the diversity of our guests. We're really proud of the diversity of our guests. We'll have nonprofit people. We'll have hospital administrators. We'll have city councilors. We'll have state representatives. We'll have the mayor. We'll have, the county judge of Clay County, Wichita County and stuff. Yep. So check it out. Be sure to check in our program, like and subscribe to our program. We really appreciate everybody listening. Yeah. But while we're trying to be funny and we try to inform a little bit, or we try to have a good time and give people ideas and thoughts, we also try to bring in great guests who can put their own spin on everything.
Right. And by the way, if you want to make use of our studio, we can talk.
Absolutely. There you go. All right. So, you want to sign us out?
Yeah. So there we go. Like our friend and radio partner Mike always liked to say, we will see you down the road.
You'll make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking